Good morrow, worthy cousins. Hello, lords and ladies. It's Shakespeare Day. I feel like I need a little poetry, and this is a beautiful scene. This is Act 1, Scene 5, and this is the party that was talked about earlier in the play that Capulet is going to throw, and try to see if he can get some young people to fall in love, and he certainly does get two people to fall in love. Some beautiful language in here. The scene starts with the servants just preparing and complaining about each other, and then Capulet, the head of the house, Lord Capulet, comes and welcomes everyone. And tries to get everyone to dance by intimating that any ladies who don't want to dance must have corns on their feet. Tries to shame all of the young women into getting on the dancing floor. Apparently, the dance was unplanned for, so the party's going very well. The guests have decided to dance, and so they're clearing out clearing the room out to make room for the dance to start. I'll just read it. Welcome, gentlemen. Ladies that have their toes unplagued with corns will walk about with you. Aha, my mistresses, which of you all will now deny to dance? She that makes dainty, she, I'll swear, hath corns. Am I come near you now? Welcome, gentlemen. I have seen the day that I have worn a visor and could tell a whispering tale to a fair lady's ear, such as would please. 'Tis gone, 'tis gone, 'tis gone. You are welcome, gentlemen. Come, musicians, play. This brings up to something. I am not going to do justice to any of this language as we go through this play. In order to do it justice, I would need 4 to 6 weeks of rehearsal. And only then would I feel comfortable presenting it for money. But being that this is free, I am comfortable with muddling through. But some of this stuff is so sophisticated and so beautiful. I always feel like I'm not quite up to the challenge. I'm going to forgive myself for that. So he welcomes everybody. Everyone starts dancing. Capulet gets into an argument about how long it's been since he's danced with his cousin, who says, you're a little older than you remember, sir. And Capulet very charmingly doesn't want to admit that. Romeo is already in the room, as is Benvolio and Mercutio and the other friends. And Romeo sees Juliet and immediately is struck dumb with love. And he says, what lady's that, which doth enrich the hand of yonder knight? A serving man says, I know not, sir. Romeo says, oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night like a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. An Ethiop is a man from Ethiopia, of very, very dark skin. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows, as yonder lady o'er her fellows shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and touching hers, make blessed my rude hand. Did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight, for I never saw true beauty till this night. So just like, boom, he's in love. Or the beginning of it. Unfortunately, we now meet Tybalt, and Tybalt is a dick. Tybalt is of the house of Capulet. He is Juliet's cousin, and he loves to fight. He thinks this street violence is just fine, and he's at home in it. And he hears Romeo's voice and immediately recognizes him, and is very, very angry. He goes directly to Capulet to report him and wants to beat him up and throw him out of the party. And Capulet says, no, that's Romeo. Romeo's fine. He's a gentleman. You know, he says, what does he say? He walks like a portly, But he's like, Romeo's fine. And Tybalt pushes back. I will not endure this. And Capulet just jumps down his throat. You'll not endure it? Shut the hell up, young man. You're not in charge here. I'm in charge here. And they get into it. And Capulet really just smacks Tybalt down really hard. And I like Capulet even more. Even though they're in this, their people are fighting, he doesn't want to do any harm to Romeo. He wants to have a good party. The prince has told him to, as we saw in the first scene of the play, the prince has said, no more violence on pain of death. Stop this, both of you, both of your houses, Montagues and Capulets. But beyond the danger of getting in trouble with the prince, Capulet just doesn't seem to be wanting to start a fight because he doesn't want any fighting. I like him a lot. And Tybalt says, well, I am, he says, patience perforce with willful choler greeting makes my flesh tremble in their different greeting. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall, now seeming sweet, convert to bitterest gall. So he's saying he's getting even angry. Now that he's being forced to seem like he's fine, he's getting even more mad, and he is vowing revenge to the audience. But he does leave Romeo alone. And Romeo goes straight to Juliet. And there is this beautiful interaction between them. I'm going to take a little time with this. And this is the part that I'm probably not going to be able to do perfectly, but I'm going to try my best. So, Romeo says, if I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this. My lips, two blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss. Okay, so he says, Romeo says, as he takes Juliet's hand, if your hand is a shrine, is a holy place, and if I am, with my rough, unworthy hand, am profaning this shrine and sullying it and dirtying it, then let my lips, as two pilgrims visiting, like a pilgrim visiting a shrine, my two blushing pilgrims, my two lips, are ready to smooth that over with a tender kiss. Very cute. It's a nice pickup line, if you ask me. Juliet pushes back very sweetly. She says, good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss. Basically, she's saying, you do wrong your hands too much. Holding my hand is fine. You haven't profaned anything. There's no need to kiss me. Thank you very much. You don't have to worry about it. So if you're a pilgrim and I'm a saint, pilgrims touch the hands of saints. And then she says, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss. This is such tight language. Holy palmers are pilgrims that return from the Holy Land with palm leaves as tokens of their journey down to the Holy Lands, because palm trees don't grow up in Europe, so they bring back these palm leaves. So if you're a pilgrim, put your palms together as pilgrims do, and let the palms kiss, not the lips, buddy. Such good language. Romeo says, have not saints lips, and holy palmers too? And Juliet says, aye, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer. Romeo says, oh, then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou, lest faith turn to despair. Romeo's still trying to get a kiss. Well, don't they have lips? They have palms, but they've got lips, don't they? Yes, but they just use them for praying. And Romeo says, well, let's pray by kissing. Juliet responds, saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake. Saints do not, initiate things. They respond. Respond to prayer through intercession. I don't really completely understand this. I think she is kind of pushing back, but also kind of saying, yeah, maybe I can kiss you. I wish I had more clarity on that line. Then Romeo says, then move not while my prayers effect I take. Thus from my lips, by thine my sin is purged. So he's saying, hold still, and I'll give you my prayer, which is a kiss. And because I'm touching your lips, my sin is taken away. And then Juliet says, then have my lips the sin that they have took. Well, then you're giving me a sin on my lips. I'm purging your sin? Well, then that means you're making me sin. Romeo says, sin from my lips? Oh, trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again. He is saying, oh, let's sin again. Because apparently that first kiss was pretty good. And then she says, you kiss by the book. Which is another way of saying, you kiss really well. You kiss like an expert. Which is both a good and a bad thing. It's a great kiss, but I have to wonder, Romeo, how many girls have you kissed? You're so good at it. Juliet is no fool. And then they get interrupted by the nurse. Now, the reason that this is so amazing is that this is all written in the rhyming scheme of a sonnet. A sonnet is 18 lines. The first 16 lines of a sonnet are A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. So the first and the third line of a sonnet rhyme, and the second and the fourth line of a sonnet rhyme. And then it goes again. And so, to the ear of the audience, these two people just fall into deep harmony. Even if they are in some ways in conflict, because Romeo's saying, hey, baby, let's kiss. And she's like, let's not kiss right away, shall we? They're still falling into a deep harmony. And I'm going to try to read it as I would a sonnet to clarify that rhyme scheme. I hope I do okay. We start with Romeo. I'll pitch my voice a little lower for Romeo and a little higher for Juliet, just so I don't have to tell you who's talking. If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this. My lips to blushing pilgrims ready stand, to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss. Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmers kiss. Have not saints lips, and holy palmers too? Aye, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer. Oh then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou, lest faith turn to despair. Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake. Then move not while my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips, by thine my sin is purged. Then, thus from my lips, by thine my sin is purged. Then have my lips the sin that they have took. Sin from my lips, O trespass sweetly urged. Give me my sin again, you kiss by the book. Tight. And the audience, we don't know that they're speaking in a sonnet together. We may not even, as an audience, consciously hear the rhymes as much, but what we do feel emotionally is these two people just go click. And really good actors, they won't beat you over the head with this, but that piece of the scene will lift as these two people get together for the first time. It's quite incredible. And Juliet gets called away by her mom, and Romeo gets to ask, "Who is this? Who is this young woman?" And the nurse says, "This is the daughter of the head of this house." And she says, "I tell you, he that can lay hold of her shall have the chinks," which is the money, coins chinking together. And she leaves, and Romeo says, "Is she a Capulet? Oh dear account, my life is my foe's debt." Dear account, a big account. Yeah. A dear account would be a large account. My life is my foe's debt. The account is my life, and now I'm indebted. My life is indebted to my foe, which is Juliet. Like, damn it! And then Benvolio comes and says, "Hey, the party's swinging. We should go. It's the best place to leave. The best time to leave a party is when it's really swinging. Away, begone. The sport is at the best." Romeo says, "Aye, so I fear. The more's my unrest." Capulet tries to get them not to leave, but everyone's leaving. And so he says, "Fine, okay, let's go to bed." Juliet then, as they're the last two in the room, asks her nurse who a couple of these leaving people are. And the nurse points out a couple of gentlemen by their names. And then he says, "Well, who's that?" She points at Romeo, saying, "And what's he that follows there that would not dance?" Nurse says, "I know not." Juliet says, "Go ask his name." Nurse leaves, goes to talk to Romeo, and she says, "If he be married, my grave is like to be my wedding bed. I hope he's not married, that guy that just kissed me. If he's married, I think I'll just die." And that's the only wedding I'm going to get. Now, and that is foreshadowing. My grave is like to be my wedding bed. That is exactly what's about to happen, although he's not married. She comes back, the nurse, and she says, "His name is Romeo, and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy." And Juliet, it's horrible. Okay, that's horrible. "My only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen unknown, and known too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me that I must love a loathed enemy." The nurse is like, What? You love what?" And Juliet says, "Oh, it's a rhyme I learned even now, of one I danced withal." And then they get called inside. Shakespeare does so much in this scene so well. Good writing gets a lot done in few words. It compacts. And in this scene, we again find that Juliet's father is a good man, not a violent one, not a jerk at all. We find out that Tybalt really is a jerk and loves violence. We meet him. We have a deep emotional connection to Romeo and Juliet when they meet. And both of them find out that they are enemies. All in one short scene. And that is where we'll leave it this week, and we'll come back again next week and talk some more. Okay, have a good one, guys.